it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Tuesday, August 2nd. So as we kind of explored last night, the moon did move out of that Virgo energy and we locked into Libra energy shortly after midnight. So this Libran energy offers us an opportunity to get balanced again. But of course, we find balance by exploring the extremes. Many of us already living in extremes since that new moon in Leo. We were definitely flying high and then we crash, boom, banged just days after. Of course, we can't sustain that kind of high vibration, high optimism, high confidence, but it has been a little bit of a struggle to navigate these days post new moon. Of course, we're in a brand new month. If you haven't listened to the August energy forecast yet, I'm going to recommend you do so. We're still acclimatizing to that. We have some pretty significant astro alignments taking place, of course, with Uranus, the true node, Mars, and we're going to continue that vibe, that activation. Again, a great reminder that we don't necessarily see the fruits of the rewards of these aspects on the day in which they are direct. It merely acts as an activation, a key, a ticking time bomb, if you will, that kind of unleashes the energy for us to experience. So if you haven't had any unexpected opportunities where love and money and changing your reality is concerned, don't fret. It is only a matter of time before you start seeing these cornerstone foundational pieces actually manifest in your life. So we have 14 different aspects here today, quite a busy day in the cosmos. 8 of them involve the moon. Before we jump into the very first moon aspect, we have Mars conjunct with the true node. Now, if you've been listening to me, if you listen to the ascension forecast for the week, if you listen to August energy forecast, even if you listen to yesterday and the day before energy forecast, you would know that the big news right now is Uranus, Mars, the true node. This is a one-off. This is a very rare event. This is the unexpected opportunities that will slowly but surely be pouring into our life. And Mars right now, conjunct, sitting next to, bumping into the true node, our soul's path, our soul's destiny, means that we are inspired. We are building up confidence. We are building up optimism. We are kind of checking in, pep talking ourselves to have the motivation to do what is necessary, to roll up our sleeves, to get our hands dirty, to start actually taking control of our lives. This means that we are definitely fired up in all the good ways, maybe even using anger as our inspiration and motivation to push us forward. Regardless, things have to change, and this particular energy is trying to get us on the right track. The moon in Libra is going to make a very positive aspect with Venus, who is in Cancer. Venus rules over this Libran energy, so this is quite a powerful vibe. Now, Venus in Cancer, we've been struggling with our emotions. We've been struggling with our intuition. We've been struggling to really establish boundaries, especially where some home and family dynamics are concerned. But the moon in Libra just wants peace, wants balance, wants harmony, and in a perfect opportunity right now, because Mercury is in Leo, to be speaking our truth, to have those heart-to-heart conversations in order to clear the air, to establish new boundaries, to establish what it is that we want, need, and desire from the people in our lives. This is a good vibe. This is a harmonious aspect, really pushing us to be a little bit more clear and confident on what it is that we're lacking and what it is that we need from our personal relationships. Now, Venus is on a roll today. She actually sextiles the true node, which means that she's also sextiling Uranus, which means she's also sextiling Mars. Those aspects will be direct as the day goes on. We'll cover them in just a bit, but first up, she bumps into the true node. This is definitely shining a bright light where we have some very strong desires to connect, to build new relationships, to really pursue our passions and desires, to really see a brand new beginning where love and money is concerned. This is definitely pushing us to get in alignment with our heart space. We are a little bit fun, a little bit flirty. We're attracted to some new scenarios. We're definitely tapping into our heart chakra. We're definitely tapping into our social side. And this particular aspect is really illuminating for us where our passions and desires, especially for connection and intimacy, are the strongest. The sun in Leo is going to be making a little bit of an uncomfortable aspect with Neptune. Neptune, of course, retrograde in Pisces energy. The sun, of course, in the heart and soul of the zodiac in Leo. This is definitely going to highlight for us where it is that we're a little bit low on willpower, where it is that we're kind of unfocused, where we're really not clear on what our goals are. Now, the vibe is high. We're excited. We want to jump into something new, but our focus is a little bit off. And with unfocused energy, with a vague sense of clarity, it's really not ideal to go ahead and pull the trigger on making anything new happen. The moon makes a little bit of an awkward aspect with the true node, with Uranus, with Mars, which of course is definitely going to highlight for us where it is that we are struggling to find balance, to find peace, to find harmony, to find compromise between our heart and head, between our reality and our dreams, between the here and now, and of course, what we want for ourselves for future possibilities. This is likely going to create a little bit of anxiety, some anticipation, some apprehension, some insecurity, some doubts, some unshakiness, if you will, some instability, because we don't know where to pour our energy into. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that we may never even know about. We can feel the energy, the repercussions of some of these divine threads being woven behind the scenes, but all we see is a lot of pressure, a lot of urgency, a lot of impulse that we don't even know what to do with. And because of that, makes us a little bit unbalanced and edgy. Again, may I remind you, the goal of the Libran energy is to find peace and balance and love and harmony and to keep things light and fluffy and shallow. But we usually have to experience the extremes of that in order to find our way back to a comfy middle ground. Now, Venus is going to go ahead and sextile Uranus. This is kind of where we boss up a little bit. We're not so fearful for putting ourselves out there, for standing our ground, for implementing boundaries. This is kind of perking us up, making us a little bit more willing to take risks, to put ourselves out there, to pursue new connections with new people, new pursuits of happiness, if you will. We're kind of erring on the side of weird. Anything weird and unusual that would kind of appeal to us, to break us out of our mundane tasks and chores of our quote unquote boring life, is very appealing as of now. We are definitely open to experiment. Mercury is going to bump into Pluto in a way that would suggest that there is going to be a situation pop off in our exterior realm that we do not have control over that will likely trigger us in a big way. Why? Well, Mercury rules over the mental plane, rules over information, communication, and how it is that we express ourselves. Mercury is in Leo energy, fired up, ready to speak the truth, ready to roar, ready to be seen, ready to be heard, ready to fully express oneself, good, bad, or otherwise. Pluto, the great transformer, is all about highlighting for us, because he's retrograde in Capricorn, where it is in the past that we gave our power away, where it is we let other people control our destiny, control our timeline, control our contract, and therefore led us into a huge amount of pain and trauma and suffering. Now, this isn't meant to paralyze us. It isn't meant to kind of set up camp and be poor old me. What it's meant to do is inspire us and motivate us to take our power back. But with this particular interaction, what I will say is something or someone is going to pop off, say something that rubs us so freaking raw that there is going to be a power struggle. Now, even more than that, it's going to create a lot of self-doubt. It's going to create a lot of indecision. We have the moon in Libra anyways, adding to the indecisiveness that we have. This is going to put us in a situation where we're second guessing this person, this information, this truth, if you will, our position in this person's life, if that's how it unfolds. And it's really going to push us into our mental plane where we have to reassess the situation, especially if this is popping up in a personal relationship. Does it feel good? No. But what we need to understand is that the great transformer himself, Pluto, likes to do a deep dive in the mental plane that Mercury rules over, but he likes to go deeper than just the egoic mental plane. This energy wants to go into the psyche, into the unconscious psyche, to see where these patterns and behaviors have set us up to even tolerate certain people, certain ideas, certain triggers in the first place. The moon goes ahead, makes a very awkward interaction with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, who is retrograde in Aquarius. This is definitely going to highlight for us where it is that we are living in extremes, especially where certain roles, responsibilities, and commitments are concerned. Now, the moon in Libra would like to keep things peaceful, would like to keep things light and fluffy. Saturn ain't about that. We are very serious, very somber. It's almost like a tough love life lesson, asking us the hard way. Did you learn your lesson? Did you boss up? Did you pluck out the wisdom? You know, where, especially after this situation that popped off earlier, where have you seen this in your life before? Where has this pattern repeated itself before? All of this is an illumination for us to realize where it is that we got to get to work, to start revamping, rebranding, reinventing, recalibrating, restructuring, reorganizing our relationships and the roles and responsibilities within those relationships. Why? Because we're likely illuminated to the relationships, to the ideas, to the commitments, to the roles and responsibilities that are sucking the life out of us. And we can't have that anymore. We have to do everything from a full heart, lightening up the vibe wherever we can. The moon is going to oppose Jupiter. Jupiter is now retrograde in Aries energy, doing a little bit of a reflection, a retracing of steps back to April and May, where it is that we, jumped into new opportunities, where we really bit off more than we can chew, where we really jumped into this new reinvention, rebranding of self. Of course, that Aries energy is the ego, the identity, where it is that new chapters needed to kind of unfold after we did all this healing work as Jupiter sat in Pisces for God knows how long. But Libra and Aries sits across from each other in the zodiac wheel. And emotionally speaking, we're having some big feels. Jupiter magnifies everything. Of course, wanting to push us in an uncomfortable zone of emotion so that we can grow and learn and improve from it. The moon in Libra really doesn't want to feel this big, this much thought, this much memory. We want to keep things light and fluffy. We want to find, a nice, healthy balance. There is no balance with Jupiter. It is very extreme. So we are going to be illuminated to where it is that, we're struggling. We're struggling with knowing what it is that we want. We're struggling with, the growth, the improvement that we've already gone through, highlighting the growing pains that we're currently going through. And it just doesn't feel good. Lucky for us, the moon is going to sextile the sun. This is a beautiful energy because the moon is our heart space, is our emotions, is our unconscious and intuitive self, while the sun is shining a bright light on our ego, our identity, our life force energy, where it is we have to pour our time and attention into. The sun is in Leo, trying to crack us open so that we can blossom, so that we can be big, so that we can take the stand in our life, stand in the spotlight, be seen, be heard, bring the beautiful skills and talents that we have been sleeping on to the forefront. And the moon in Libra is really feeding into this, really kind of just loving the aspects of the love and the beauty that we're finding within ourselves, finding within the growth process. Yes, we sat in the funk earlier, but we have to sit in the funk in order to see the silver linings. And this particular aspect is definitely showing us the overlap between where it is that we've come from and where it is that we desire to be. And what is left is this beautiful place in the here and now, the present moment, where we get to choose what it is that we are going to pour our time, energy, and attention into. This is when Venus sextiles Mars. As we talked about, Venus kind of did a little bit of dance with the true node, with Uranus, and now with Mars. The masculine energy to her feminine energy. This is definitely going to boost us up, make us very positive, get in alignment with what it is that our heart wants, that our heart needs, that our heart desires. This is putting us on a totally different focus, a totally different path with wants, needs, and desires where love and money is concerned. This is a feel-good energy. We got Venus in a water sign, Cancer sign, right? And we got Mars in Taurus, an earth sign. This is very grounding, very much recognizing what our physical body is yearning for, what our heart is yearning for, our mind. And when you piece it all together, we have this beautiful balance between the feminine and masculine energies that we all have within us and then for just a small window of time, we actually feel like we're in the right place with the right kind of focus, with the right kind of vibes. We're feeling peace, we're feeling harmony, we're feeling balance, but most of all, we're feeling a little bit of clarity on what it is that we should be focused on pursuing. We are going to end the day off with the moon making a very positive aspect with the true node. This is helping us identify what the next step in the path should be, how it is that we are going to get on the right path with the soul destiny, our purpose, our mission, what we're being called to pursue. This is going to be an emotional aha moment with a light bulb kind of getting flicked off on what it is that we actually want for ourselves, especially feeding off of this Venus and Mars interaction earlier. We're feeling good, feeling positive, feeling focused. We're in touch with our physical needs, our emotional, mental needs, what it is that we want for ourselves in the future, what it is we want to build for ourselves. Because of course, Cancer energy is all about building a foundation of safety and security, especially where emotions and family and that dynamic is concerned. While Taurus energy that Mars is currently sitting in is building foundations in our physical circumstances where routines and love and money are concerned. So if you kind of mix all of that up together, emotionally speaking, something is flickering in us. We are finding the path. We are finding the middle ground. We are finding the next steps, the next pieces to this greater, grander puzzle.